about the 2023 College Football Hall of Fame inductees. And as usual, the list is both long and distinguished. I had to settle there for a second. I had to settle. Hey, RJ, don't get fired. Don't get fired, RJ. Don't get fired. All right. So I ranked what I thought was the top 5 college football inductees in the 2023 class, okay? And I'm also being consistent because remember I did this whole big piece about the 10 best college football players of all time like 2 years ago. So I got to keep to that, all right? So we're going to go from 5 to 1, all right? And I'm going to preface this by saying in 153 years, there have been 5.62 million people who have played or coached college football. Just 2% have earned selection into the College Football Hall of Fame. 1,074 to date out of 5.62 million people. That's ridiculous. And just to be eligible, you have to have been a first-team All-America selector. Like, you have to have been selected for the first team just to be on the ballot. So everybody that you're going to hear at one time or another was a first-team All-American. Okay. So at number 5, I got Boston College linebacker Luke Kuechly. Okay, so this is a paragraph over there on the National Football Foundation's website that reads like this because it's ridiculous. A 2-time first-team All-American, unanimous in 2010 and consensus in 2011, Kuechly made a clean sweep of National Defensive Honors in 2011, including the Bronco Nagurski Trophy, the Butkus Award, the Rotary Lombardi Award, and the Lot Impact Trophy after leading all collegiate football players in tackles with 191 in college. My God. 102 that were solo. 2010, he had 183, right? He was a freshman All-America in 2009 when he had 158, 87 solo. He had 532 career tackles in 3 years of football. That's ridiculous. 14 tackles per game. Number 1 in NCAA history at 7.87 solo tackles per game. That's second in the NCAA annals. Good Lord. But that's not even, that's the stats, right? People that know from Luke Kuechly will tell you that man was renowned for walking up to the line of scrimmage and yelling out the play that the offense was going to run. Trap. Wait, how the hell does he know that? Hey, dive, Thomas, dive. How the hell does he know that? Because the man ate film. Like all that stuff that you love from your favorite college football announcer or analyst, Joel Klatz of the world, that could see the play before the play and tell you what's going to happen and immediately pick it right back up and explain to you just what happened. He was doing that in the middle of the game and making a tackle. All right? I'd be so upset and so mad and so angry if I was quarterback. Because how am I going to get out of this? You know what I mean? There's nothing for me to do. We just got to run the play now. That was who Luke Kuechly was. A lot of fun watching that man play football, both at Boston College and in the NFL. Okay, number 4 on the list, Tennessee defensive back Eric Berry. Now, I remember Eric Berry because Eric Berry was a no-fly zone as a safety, which is real difficult to undertake because, frankly, you are responsible for run before you're responsible for pass, and this man can still do both. 2007 freshman All-American. 2008 unanimous first-team All-American, SEC Defensive Player of the Year at Tennessee. Had 7 interceptions in that 2008 season and also could come downhill just like that and destroy whomever the ball carrier was. Also, shout out to Halle Berry. And now one of my favorite rap songs. I'm not going to do it here because I don't want to put nobody out on blast. But that's who Eric Berry was. 2009 Thorpe Award winner. It goes without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway. Number 3 on the list for me, Texas linebacker Derrick Johnson. Now, you'll know that we did RJ's college football Legends of the Game, sponsored by Discover. And one of the first one of these vignettes that I was able to do, wrote a script for, interview for, was Derrick Johnson on the 40 acres, Austin, Texas. This dude was my favorite linebacker in high school because he played inside linebacker the way that most people play outside linebacker. He could come off the ball, he'd get into the backfield, and he would take the ball away from you, okay? Butkus Award winner, Bronco Nagurski Award winner. 2003, he was a consensus All-American. 2004, he was a unanimous All-American, 2-time first-team All-American, and still is tied for the most forced fumbles in a single season with 9, record he set in 2004. And nobody's gotten over the top of that in 153 years. Outstanding player. Number 2 on the list Florida quarterback, Tim Tebow, quarterback on one of the great teams of college football, period, 2008 Florida Gators. I still maintain if DeMarco Murray was healthy, that game goes a little bit differently for my Oklahoma Sooners, but you know what? 22-game win streak, he was the dude. Heisman Trophy winner, he was the dude. It's one thing to be a Heisman Trophy winner. It's another thing to be the quarterback on a Florida Gators team that nobody felt good about playing ever. Matter of fact, Ohio State would tell you what that was like, right? They remember what it was like to play against that 06 Florida team, okay? We're also talking about a team that at one point was looking at Tim Tebow or Cam Newton to be the starting quarterback, which is still ridiculous to me because both of those guys end up being college football Hall of Famers. There's too much room here, right, for me to say something else about Tim Tebow, except to say, yo, man, when you got the dudes that he got and you can still be the guy coming down with the Heisman Trophy, pretty damn good. Stetson Bennett didn't come down with the Heisman Trophy. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying here? All right. Number one on the list, number one on everybody's list, most of our favorite player in the 2003 to 2005 window, the man, USC Trojan running back Reggie Bush. All right. Reggie lost 2 football games in his entire USC career. 2. Okay. Reggie was the dude closest to Deion in my lifetime, which is another way of saying I am going to take control of this game because once I get the ball, you will not catch me. I will find a way from here to the end zone. You will not catch me. 7.3 yards per carry average. Average. We're talking about an 04 consistent All-American. We're talking about an 05 unanimous All-American. We're talking about having played in 2 consecutive national title games. And we're talking about the 05 Heisman Trophy winner. You can put the man in the College Football Hall of Fame. You can't give the man his Heisman. I am the last person in the world to care as much as y'all care about the Heisman Trophy. But damn it, you care. And because you care, it matters. And because it matters, give it back to him. It's going to be a very long time before any of us get to say there is a player that is as exciting, as thrilling as Reggie Bush was at USC. And remember, from 03 to 06, SC was Georgia, was Alabama, was everything that you were terrified in the world because they had that dude. Because number 5, you could not touch. You could barely put your hands on him. He was a ghost. He was gone. For those of y'all that are on the YouTubes, go ahead and look up his high school film. It's still one of my favorite things to watch when I'm just sitting around because he's out there toying. He's turning his back to the defense. He's faking putting the ball on the ground. That's just who he was. Just who he was. Glad to see the College Football Hall of Fame did not mess this up and put him in. All right. Honorable mentions going on the way out. Kansas State quarterback Michael Bishop. One of my favorite players, period, just to watch play. 1998, he spawned what I think of as the original Cam Newton. Heisman runner-up, 22-3 as a starter, consensus All-American, won the Davey O'Brien Award, got Kansas State to his first ever number 2 ranking, Kansas State. Got to the New England Patriots. Charlie Weiss looked at him and said, the game is not prepared for you. We do not have a football offense that can take advantage of your skill set. It wouldn't happen that somebody could until Cam Newton got to the league some 10 years later. 12 years, 13 years later. It's ridiculous. Awesome. Ridiculous. Another one that I want to mention on the way out, D'Angelo Williams. At Memphis, he was the first group of 5 dude that I have memory of that people were caping for to win the Heisman Trophy. Okay. And it became a thing at Memphis after that with like guys like Darrell Henderson, right? 04, Williams set an NCAA record, 34 straight games of 100 yards rushing or more. Finished as the FBS record holder in all-purpose yards. 7,573 all-purpose yards is stupid. Ranks 4th all-time in NCAA history. Averaged 178.55 yards per game as a senior. That was number 1 nationally at Memphis. And you know what kind of an NFL career he had. Outstanding list of College Football Hall of Fame inductees. Congratulations to all who have made it into this really really difficult Hall of Fame. Thank you for watching the #1 college football show. Please remember to subscribe to the channel and like this video so that you don't miss any of the best college football coverage in America.